This is Jeremy Sports Network coming to you live. Hey, you guys, immediate reaction video to what we just saw in Indiana. I got to take the glasses off on this one. I mean, you go up 26 points. 26 points, Indiana. 72 points in the first half. Over 72 points in the first half. And you turn around and lose the ball game. You allow LeBron James to come back and put a whooping on you that would not wait a minute. Seriously. I'm sitting here, I'm in the feed, I'm talking to some of my guys from Fresh Perspective. Oh, by the way, please check out Fresh Perspective. Make sure you guys go like and subscribe and tune in. Hot show that we do. But back to the topic at hand. You allow LeBron James to come back and do what he do. Because let's get to the beginning of the game. Beginning of the game, I felt as though Indiana had Cleveland beat because Nate McMillan made the necessary adjustments in order to put his team in position to beat Cleveland tonight. I remember talking to one of my family members. We was talking on Facebook, and the question that I proposed, I said, is Indiana going to upset Cleveland tonight? And everybody's like, nah, come on. Cleveland is going to dominate. You know, Cleveland going to win it all. They're going to sweep the series. And I'm like, well, if Indiana learn how to close games, they will win. That's all I said. If they learn how to close games, they will win. Simple and plain. Plain and simple. You close the game, you win. Simple as that. So we're waiting, watching the game. Indiana starting out fabulous. I'm like, you know what? Tonight is their night. Indiana can't lose this one. You can't lose this one. You dropped 72 in the first quarter. In the first half. You got Cleveland looking like they don't know what to do because of the necessary adjustments that Nate McMillan did, which was pull Monte Ellis out of the starting lineup, insert CJ Miles. Now you're getting mismatch problems if you're Indiana, because now you have the ability to get out on the open court. You don't have to worry about being small with Monte Ellis on the court and the matchups to where he sometimes ended up being guarded by, he's having to guard LeBron James. And you end up doing what you're supposed to do phenomenally in the first half. In the second half, you come out and lay an egg in the third quarter, and you turn around and lay another egg in the fourth quarter, to where the only thing y'all had going for yourselves if you're Indiana was Paul George. You got Lance Stevenson looking like he don't know what it is that's going on. Sometimes he plays good. Sometimes he doesn't. He's streaky. He's been that way. And a lot of people saying, oh, well, he has to get himself reacclimated back into what's going on with Indiana. No, you don't. It's playoff basketball. You've been in this league long enough. Monte Ellis, you've been in this league long enough. You haven't showed up yet. You're averaging over 8.5 points. 8.5. Now, granted, I'm gonna go by the numbers tonight on what it is that everybody had tonight. But for this series in particular, you're only averaging 8.5 points off the 13 that you've been averaging throughout the season. And we know Monte Ellis to put up big numbers when he was with Golden State. But now, you just seem to me as if you're just a role player. You're a role player. You're a liability. And to me, Monte Ellis is a liability. The only thing Indiana have going for themselves is Jeff Teague sometimes and Paul George. That's it. If Paul George don't have monster games to keep his team ahead, Indiana, they're pretty much getting swept. Seriously, that's it. They're getting swept. And we finna go to the numbers. We're gonna go to the numbers and see what they have. Because this right here just it disappoints me. If you're Indiana, you have 3 opportunities in every game to beat Cleveland, and you turn around and you lose each and every time. Each and every time. LeBron played 45 minutes tonight. They needed every bit of 45 minutes in order for them to do what it was that they did tonight. But LeBron was spectacular. He was fabulous on the defensive side of the ball. He had 12 defensive rebounds, 13 total with 12 assists, 2 blocks, 3 turnovers. LeBron was just everywhere. He was everywhere. 41 points. He had a triple-double, man. LeBron did what LeBron was supposed to do. Kevin Love dropped 13. You had Tristan Thompson dropping 9. Kyrie Irving dropped 13. I mean, they played within their offense, Cleveland did. They made the necessary adjustments, which really wasn't much. It was more so of them knocking down shots. That's all it was, because Cleveland wasn't knocking down shots in the beginning of the game. They were outscored 37-27 in the first quarter. Second quarter, they was outscored 37-22. Indiana put up 37 points in the first and second quarter. In the third and fourth quarter, they followed that with 17 in the third, 23 in the fourth. Are you serious? Cleveland basically showed that they had defense. Indiana did not look like they could stop anything at all. But hands down, you have to give it to Cleveland. Cleveland right now psychologically has taken Indiana out of the series. Psychologically, Indiana is out of the series. They're screwed. There's nothing more that Indiana can do. You think that they could do something because of the necessary adjustments that were made at the beginning of the game. But what can you do now? There's no way you're beating Cleveland 3 games straight. There's no way. Well, 4 games straight to win the series. Not even to take it to 7 games, but to win the series. You're not beating Cleveland 4 times straight if you're Indiana. You may compete to where you keeping the games close, fairly how the first, second, and third game is, but you're not going to beat Cleveland. No. So this is a sweep for Cleveland. It's going to go down as a sweep for Cleveland in my book. Pretty much. You had Shannon Fry coming off the bench dropping 13. And Kyle Korver. How do you feel if you Kyle Korver? Because now Kyle Korver is on. He's on. He had 12 points tonight. He was 4 or 5 from the three-point line. Kyle Korver was on, played 22 minutes. And he balled. And it leaves me sitting here looking like, well, if you the Atlanta Hawks, you let that guy go? Who could be helping you in this Washington series? You let that guy go? But like I said, it don't remain to be seen when it comes to this game in particular, this series in particular. You're done. Seriously. There's nothing that Indiana can say or do to try to pull themselves back into fruition to win this series at all, period. Over and done with. The Pacers, they started out fantastic. I mean, you had the big dunk by Turner, and then all of a sudden you're thinking like, man, this could be it. This could be the game that's going to change the series. This could be the game. Thaddeus Young, he had a double-double with 11 points, 14 rebounds. You had C.J. Miles, who was inserted into the starting lineup, like I said, who finished the game with 9 points, but he was efficient. He played 25 minutes. He was 3 of 6 from the field, 1 of 4 from the three-point line, which if the three-point line is not your bread and butter, why sit there and waste shots? There were a lot of shots wasted for Indiana in the third quarter alone. A lot of ill-advised shots. Jeff T finished the game with 15 points. Jeff T finished the game with 15. You had Paul George, who, to me, he was 1 assist away from having a triple-double, but Paul George has to do so much in order for his team to win because they break down offensively. My guy Hummage, he tells me all the time, Indiana does not have an offense. And I'm like, well, maybe they need a true point guard to help run that offense. Maybe that's what they need. You know what I'm saying? With Jeff Teague could be that guy. But then when you start to see stuff that you see throughout this series, and you're like, no, it can't be him. He's right. He's right. And I'm going to have to admit to him on air, on our show, on Fresh Perspective, that he's right. Sitting here looking at Indiana does not have an offense. If it's not Paul George or Jeff Teague scoring, they're not going to get scoring from anywhere else. Lance Stevenson, although he had 13, he still struggled from the field. He was 4-12. He struggled in the second half. He did fabulous in the first half, but the second half he struggled. I don't know what to say if you're Indiana. I mean, Paul George may be out of there next year. He may be out of there. Chances are he could end up in LA. Hopefully he does. But Paul George, to me, is done as an Indiana Pacer. He's done. His time is up. He wants to win, and darn it, he's not going to win with Cleveland being the top dog in the East. He's not going to win with a team like Indiana. No. Sorry, over and done with. Sweep. But, you know, we have a lot more games that's going on right now tonight. You got San Antonio and Memphis that's going against each other right now. Memphis is actually winning right now, 36-33. Milwaukee destroying Toronto right now, 95-68 in the fourth quarter with about 4 minutes to go in that game. Destroying Toronto. Toronto looking like they're about to lose that series. We already know Memphis is not going to beat San Antonio. But those are the games that's going on tonight. This is just some immediate reaction video following game 3 of what took place tonight. And to me, it's sad that it have to happen this way. If you're Indiana, it's sad because a lot of people were pulling for you to at least make this a series for LeBron. At least make it a series. LeBron is 11-0 in game 1s. Period. Undefeated. 19-0 in game 1. Well, in the first game of the playoffs. LeBron hasn't lost a series at all. So if you go with history, Cleveland is going to sweep this. This is a sweep. Might as well get the broom out. It's over with. So once again, the Cavaliers became the first team to overcome 25-point halftime deficit in order to win the game and take Indiana up 3-0. So that's it. Nate McMillan, I don't know what to tell you, buddy. You need to find somebody else because Paul George is done. He's gone. He's gone. He's out of there. But like I said, it remains to be seen. This is Jeremy Sports Network coming to you live. I'm about to do another show because we got to talk some boxing. We got a lot of things transpiring on this weekend that I'm really looking forward to. So if you guys are tuning in now, make sure you tune in to my next show that's coming up in about another 5 to 10 minutes. So this is Jeremy Sports Network signing out. Peace.